Cheers, everyone! Yay! Oh my gosh, our second episode ever of GRRRLFriends.
Yes.
We're very excited. Ashley, why don't you introduce our guests since they are your friend?
I am so excited to introduce my very good friend, some would say best.
Oh, someone. He's like, not me.
I love him very much, and he finally, we're here, we're doing the pod, and he's about to release some amazing fucking bops, y'all. So
I think emotional bops, if any. Like,
I mean,
woo!
yes, Michael Martinez is here
Woo!
with us.
Cheers.
And this is big, you guys.
This is huge for us because we've been wanting you on this damn thing since I think we started.
So
before we start, let's just kind of like get to know you a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
I have been writing music since I was like 17. But I like grew up doing theater. I'm from San Francisco, and I just like, I don't know, I think that like the reason why I'm at a point now where I can actually release music is because I'm like getting back to all the things that make me who I am.
Yeah.
And like I needed to kind of go my own way and like learn about other kinds of music, and I have no regrets, you know. That's regrets.
everything takes time.
That's regrets for anyone not understand.
our slang, our lingo. But yeah, I feel ready now because I can like honor all those different things.
Yeah.
I went to Berklee College of Music from like 2014 to 2017, and I just like, I learned a lot about how to make music and just also how to analyze it and like theory and all of that stuff. But I remember in one of my songwriting classes, they were like, yes, we're teaching you the rules, but then you have to break them. And that's how you like find your voice and like in writing or whatever you're doing. I found that part to be kind of hard because like, you know, after Berklee, I would get into rooms and be in LA in sessions, and we'll get to LA because that shit is
Yes, I want to get to LA.
We want to know the tea on
Tell
LA.
us.
a little traumatizing.
Oh, I'm sure it is for a lot of people listening. So.
I was just in LA today, and like for the last 2 days, and by the end of my show last night, I was like having a minor panic attack just
like,
because
get me
I was
out
like,
here.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's all on me. Like it's entirely in my head. It's how I feel there, but it's like that was why I couldn't just. I don't know. I don't think I was ready to like thrive.
Yeah, well, when you're
not that I'm like saying I'm thriving now, but I'm like working really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And it feels better to be in San Francisco where I live now, where I've been able to like build communities for myself, or at least like be a part of communities.
Well, that's what I was gonna kind of ask is, do you find that maybe LA wasn't your place because it is so hard to find a community and everyone feels very much like they're only out for their own purposes, and whereas San Francisco is kind of like, I think San Diego almost kind of a lot more, besides the tech bros, a lot more like laid back, you know, a little bit better than LA.
I mean, LA is very competitive. And
that's like the thing I was going to say. It's like, but you're just like, feel like a number, like almost being a part of like
a cattle call.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And in your early 20s, like that is such a hard place to be in where
you don't know yourself.
You're trying to figure out who you are, and then you're surrounded by people that are like trying to tell you who to be, and it's a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not. His eyes starts twitching. He's like, it's great.
I have a lot of friends that are in LA, and like college friends who we all kind of moved there, and I thought that it would be easier to find a community, but then I also just didn't really understand that idea of community. I think that was like part of it. It was just like, I just needed to work, I needed to make money, I needed to like get into the right rooms, I needed this and that, and it was like, a lot of it felt, and a lot of it is very transactional, but it's like, I think also everything in life is the meaning you put on it. And for me, I just didn't have that understanding. And I don't know, like, I'm glad I did what I did. Like the steakhouse music gig, cover gig that I was doing, I will not name it. And it was like, honestly, it was really good for me. Like I am a much better pianist now. I like learned how to like kind of sustain a 4-hour gig, even though my voice is very tired right now because it's not even singing that tires me out, it's talking. Which, thank you for like giving me time to sip on tea.
Hell yeah.
We do this. It's helpful to lubricate the pipes. But yeah, just like it was, you're playing at a steakhouse by yourself. You're hoping people will like enjoy what you're doing, but it's not. The purpose of what you're doing is not to necessarily be heard or to perform. It's to like create an ambiance, to create a vibe. And that's cool. I was getting paid to do that, and like I've been able to, most of my adult life, with the exception of the pandemic, when I went and was a bartender for a little while, because my
What
life,
else were you gonna do?
my career was like
Yeah.
a piece.
Yeah. So LA,
Yes.
obviously quite harsh to go through in your 20s.
Yeah, I think I could not navigate it, and I was especially alone, and it felt like I was alone. And then that job opened. I mean, that's the thing. Even though like I don't do that job anymore, and it like eventually got to be like really hard. I didn't realize that it was like wearing me down until I started doing these other jobs. Until I started even like the bartending gig that I talked about. That was a little taste of community, because it was just like we have to all help each other.
Yeah.
Whether it's like bringing on the keg or like taking care of that table that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, it's just like we're trying to make it like the best possible shit for everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas like you're in the corner of a really cold steakhouse for like 4 hours and just like hoping somebody like finds you and like wants to tip you for the song request they just asked for. Again, no regrets.
Yeah.
Like that job, I moved to San Francisco for it. And I started like finding talent for the new location.
Oh, that's cool.
And through that, I met a new like dear friend of mine, Matt Herrero, also an incredible songwriter. Check him out.
Shout out.
But and so he does that gig still, but he referred me to audition for Brat Pack, which I did in the fall of 2021, which was my first like professional theater production since 2012 when I was in Spring Awakening.
That's so long.
And I mean, I did a production of West Side Story at college, but that was like, a college production, which was still awesome, and I feel like professional caliber because we're in a music school with a bunch of really fucking talented people.
1,000%.
Yes.
But like, it was 2 performances, and it's just different,
Yes.
and you're not getting paid, so like, there's like a different level of stakes when you're like, this is my job, and I'm getting paid to do this, so this is really cool, but also like I want to do a good job. And they like threw at us a week before we started rehearsals for that, like that we're going to learn how to play the drums and be our own band, which was like, oh my god, I like almost quit. I'm glad I did it.
I remember FaceTiming with you and you were like, this is fucking nuts. And I was like, I know. Like, you had like a week to learn how to play the drums.
Whoa!
It went from like the pandemic, like being chillin', and then it's like, holy shit.
Hey, you're going to be on stage for like
The
150
drums?
people every night, and you're going to sing, dance, act, and play the instruments that you've never played before at the same time. Go. And I managed to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
That's insane, though.
I just like, I don't want to like get too into that just yet, unless if you want to, but like, basically like, everything is like kind of starting to connect and like starting to like lead, like one door opening to another one. And you don't really know until you're there and like feeling good doing something that you're passionate about.
And are you okay with leaving LA? Because I feel like a lot of artists might stick around for too long, and because they just feel like that's the place they have to be. Do you think it's healthy to give that advice to maybe think about leaving?
Yes.
You know?
With social media, you can kind of leave.
Yeah, I mean, also, luckily San Francisco is not too far.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
for this trip I drove, if you are not, like, finding your people, like, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Find the right people. Find a community. I think that's, like, again, I cannot stress this enough, like, having a community to be a part of and, like, feeling accepted and welcomed and, like, encouraged and celebrated by those communities.
Validated.
yes.
It's validating as fuck.
Oh my god,
And
1,000%.
I think that, like, I was actually just talking to my friend Lillian, another incredible artist and songwriter who goes by Lita.
Oh.
Oh my god,
Incredible.
you showed me her stuff.
Amazing.
She is
Italian American.
So good.
Ooh.
Yes.
She came to the show last night and just like, I was telling her about how somebody came up to me and was just like, yeah, I can like totally hear the musical theater and like all this stuff. And it was like a little triggering just because, for some reason, like I still have this idea, and I'm trying to like break my conditioning of that, like I have to keep them separate, like my musical theater life and my songwriter
fuck,
life.
I understand that, yeah.
But that's like not true. Like
No.
Lady Gaga and Olivia Rodrigo, fucking pop queens,
Yes.
Yeah.
are, not that I'm a pop queen, but like, you know, that's
Candy.
Madonna,
I want to
you will.
Yeah, you will be.
You're
Manifesting.
manifesting.
But
I mean, everyone, David Bowie, all these people use musical theater aspects in their songwriting.
Yes,
totally. I mean,
Yeah.
Queen is
Queen.
fucking theatrical as
Yes.
Bohemian Rhapsody is a musical.
exactly. It's like
Yeah.
a perfect
Who's the
little
guy we
5-minute
love
musical.
That's gonna be here. That who was in Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, Ben Platt.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Obsessed.
Right.
That's a good example of using musical theater in
Yes.
music is.
Totally. And that's the thing. I think I'm still a little triggered when somebody gives me that as a compliment. And it's
Yeah.
like, again, it's just like how LA was like, it's mostly in my head that I feel like triggered by it or
Yeah.
whatever. But like, I do think that being able to like have some intersectionality with those things
Yes.
and just like own it has been really helpful, and I'm like working my way towards that. I think that like when I was in LA, you know, a few years ago before I moved it back to SF in 2019. So when I was in LA before that, you know, some people do use that as the musical theater thing as like a backhanded compliment, and
Oh,
I have
sure.
some friends who would say that.
Yeah.
And actually, we have like not really addressed those things, but I feel much better about those friendships now because I don't like.
Yeah, you
I have a
take it as
boundary. I
that.
just don't like
Yeah,
take
yeah.
anything they say.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of
They're
salt.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
But I remember that was really, really fucking triggering at the time because I was
Okay.
like, no, I'm making R&B pop. Like this
Yeah.
is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, and like really wanting to commit to that because I hadn't done musical theater in so long, and because I wasn't doing it, and it just didn't seem like something I could do anymore because I was like, that door is closed. That's behind me. So like getting back into theater, and then just like that reminded me why I love to perform, why I'm doing this in the first place.
Yeah.
And it's to connect with people and to like share something, to like give something, and to make people feel something. Having the time to get back into theater and like kind of just adjust like what I'm looking for
Yeah.
out of my like work has been really beneficial to like eventually getting here and like being ready to put out music. So after Brat Pack opened, which was in September, and it ran through the end of the year, I had more time because the show was open, we weren't rehearsing, so I had some days free during the week, and I was like, what else can I do to like perform? I'm like hungry for this, you know? And so then a friend of mine named Max Embers, incredible performer, songwriter, and now producer, and I will get on to more of that in just a second. He has been doing this like nomad life, and he was staying with me, and he does So Far Sounds shows.
Okay,
And that is, Google it if you don't know.
It's incredible.
It's like secret pop-up shows.
We're going tomorrow.
All
yeah.
over.
Oh no. This
that's-
is coming out way after we go.
Yeah.
Well, that's like part of the reason why I'm here is because
Yeah.
I'm doing like a little
Basically
mini
touring
tour.
around, yeah.
I did 2 shows in LA over the weekend, and I have a show in San Diego tomorrow.
So excited.
And he introduced me to the booker for So Far Artists, and actually that's who I was having coffee with before I came down here today.
Oh, nice.
He's also named Max, an incredible human.
Nice.
And then just like I played my first show, I was a little nervous, but like, you know, it went well, and I just started playing more of them, and just like getting comfortable doing my stuff and not like being a different character. And so just like if you're not feeling joy in whatever city you are doing, whatever it is you're doing,
Yeah.
like give
Change it. Yes.
change it. Like take it. What are you gonna do? My sister, the whole last 10 years when I wasn't putting music out, when I had songs ready but I was not ready to put them out, she was just like, you know, I'm telling her like about all these things, but I just don't know what to do next. And it's always just like, what are you gonna do about it? Like
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah.
down to you fucking
Yeah.
taking your life into your own hands and like making something of it. And it's easier said than done
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's scary
but
as fuck.
It's the worst process.
it's terrifying. I mean, even when you were starting this podcast, I'm
Yeah.
sure
Yes.
it was like a similar kind of feeling, right?
Every day.
Every
I'm just
day.
kidding.
No, truly, like
But it's
every day.
exciting,
It
too.
Yeah,
is.
it's exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's joyous.
Everything is happening. Yeah, we're just it's happy.
Yeah, like there's never been a day where I'm like, I'm scared and it's going badly.
Yeah.
You know, it's been, I'm scared and it's kind of working.
Yeah,
like that's
doing
okay,
it.
we're going with it, you know?
Yeah, you're doing something right.
So tell us all about your single. Let's go. Let's dive into it.
So now we've gone to the point where you're feeling good.
You're feeling proud of yourself.
Yes.
We're here. We're ready.
So it's great timing that I brought up my friend Max because I didn't know that he was a producer. When he stayed with me, he told me, I produced the whole EP I just released. It's beautiful. It's called Idlewild. I love listening to it in nature while I'm hiking.
Like the city Idlewild?
Yes, he wrote all of it when he was there. He was like got an RV for 3 weeks.
Whoa.
And just wrote and produced an entire...
That's the high school I went to.
Really?
Is Idlewild Arts.
Whoa.
Yeah. Spooky.
A lot of full circle things keep happening, and this is one of them.
I'm telling you, I feel that a lot too. Where I just like find people that know people.
Yes.
You know, it's like
it's all connected.
People are doing something right.
Yeah, that's true. I'm finding the right people, right?
Yeah. Community.
Yeah, I mean, Idlewild was very traumatic, but we won't talk about that.
We can.
We will talk
Just
about
not on the mic.
Yeah. I don't want that school suing me for all I'm worth.
Ooh, yeah, let's not have a lawsuit.
Yeah, we don't need that.
But so basically he wrote and produced his EP, which you are obsessed with.
I'm obsessed with his music and his artistry, and I've been doing these so far shows, and like it just makes me feel like a new confidence that I didn't really have before. That like I can do this, which is also funny because my Instagram handle is Michael Can Do That. So if you like, I'm not going to give you the whole spiel, but yeah,
Leia put that nice text in there.
I just didn't like know that I could do things that I'm doing now, and I'm like, cool, like it started with drums and Brat Pack, like get outside of your comfort zone and just like fucking try shit.
Yeah.
You might fail, but then you know that like that's not gonna work for me. And like,
failure isn't bad.
No.
That's I think what we place on ourselves so deeply is that failure is such a bad thing, and I think that's maybe why, putting out songs would be scary when you're not ready. Because the fear of failure is I think worse than the fear of putting this, oh my God, not doing it.
Especially
when it overshadows it.
It's a big monster to overcome.
Yeah, and it's scary to think about failing on your first one.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds not fun. But you're not going to. And what's failing?
Nothing.
I mean...
You set unrealistic expectations for yourself.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I mean, a little sidebar. Like, I read this book called Less, and it was really beautiful, and it was just like, there's a moment where it's spoiler alert, where it like, talks about like this relationship between, like the main character is talking to a friend, finding out that this friend's 20-year relationship ended. He's like, but like, why? Like, how could you let it fail? And this guy's like, it's not a failure just because it ended. It's just, we had 20 beautiful years together, you know? And so like, even just like thinking about like, and kind of going back to like leaving the steakhouse job and like doing these other things, like, I could look at it, it's the meaning I put onto it, right? I could look at it and just be like, that didn't work out, and I could be jaded, and I have been there, and I can like easily get to that headspace. But like, instead it's like, no, like, I met some incredible people who like got me back into theater, and like, I got to become a better pianist and vocalist, and I made money, I made a living as a musician for a few years, and like, and it was good. So it's just like, anything can be what you make it. And so including something that you might think of as failure or like, unmet expectations, whatever it is. So I'm trying to just like reframe things so that way it's like, I can keep finding joy in everything. Because otherwise, what the fuck is the point of life?
Honestly.
I wish I could hear that once and my brain would just be like, think like that. But like at 32, I've tell myself that all the time, and I have to keep telling myself that. It's just like...
It's a daily practice.
It's a daily thing.
Yeah.
100%.
Especially to grow up when we grew up, I think especially too, because we grew up where media was just painfully harsh.
Yeah.
And we consistently put unrealistic expectations on ourselves as children.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you break out of such a strong habit like that? It's hard.
It's hard.
Totally. I mean... And to like come back to your thing about like this single I'm putting out, basically it's a song I wrote about coming out. It's called Freedom Within, and like
it's beautiful.
It's fucking incredible.
Thank you.
It's so good.
And that's like that's part of it. I mean, I grew up in San Francisco, and like I knew I was gay,
Yeah.
but like I still didn't come out until I was like basically 19, 20.
Wow.
And a lot of it had to do with like the way I was afraid of being perceived, or like, and also part of the reason why I like put musical theater away for so long. I'm like, again, I'm not trying to frame it as like I ignored it and I hid this part of myself, because what ended up happening was I learned so much other shit, and I got to like, again, like experience new music and artists that have like shaped my writing since writing Freedom Within. But basically I was out to my friends, and just not to my dad. And so I wrote the lyrics, and then like a year later I wrote the melody and the piano part, because I just like the lyrics were like too heavy for me to revisit.
Yeah.
It was like just a song that was, it just existed for a long time. And I mean, I did come out to my dad shortly after, but I kind of like put the song away, you know? I kind of was just like, okay, that was really helpful for me. And then I started doing So Fars again, and I was like putting my set list together for the first one, and I was like, I want to tell my story, you know, as a songwriter and as like a person. And that's kind of what's beautiful about So Far, is they allow you to just show up and hopefully be your most authentic self. No apologies, you know. And I think like not every time, but almost every time I do a show, somebody comes up to me afterwards to tell me like what that song means to them.
Oh,
and
that's so nice.
Yeah, and it like, it became clear to me that like this will have to come out at some point.
Yes.
You know, yeah, and I just like
it's too important.
Thank you. I mean, I didn't know that like my music could heal people.
Oh,
you know?
fuck yeah, it can.
And I think that that's kind of what I want to be, like my mission is to like heal through music, because like, I don't know, music has done that for me my whole life. That's like why I'm in it in the first place.
That's
like
why we
Same.
do this.
yeah.
Same.
And I mean, you do such a good job at like sharing music and like being able to like shine light on people who don't have like the money and the platform to like be able to have a team of people working for them nonstop, when it's like those teams of people are just trying to make as much money for the big record labels and stuff.
Yes.
And themselves. So anyway, thank you.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
glad that music has brought us here.
I know.
But you know, at the same time, like you were saying, I think a lot of the artists that we do work with who, you know, are releasing their very first songs, it is such like an emotionally fragile thing to do. So for us, like really wanting to like take in people and make sure that they're doing it in a healthy way for them. Like, I think that's why Ashley and I never really wanted to pressure you to put it out. Like, it had to come out naturally for you. And we're just so glad that you got to the point, because, like, truly that song is going to, like you said, heal a lot of people.
I hope so.
You're going to get tons of people coming up to you at shows.
Oh, yes.
Tons
100%.
of people. And people, if you're out there, go up to artists. Tell them how much
we are
music.
humans. Like,
they need that validation, honestly.
It's also just like, I mean, I'll just speak for myself, but like when I play a So Far show or any show where I'm playing my music, it's like, I don't like really, I know I have to be a brand to some extent, but like I'm not. I'm a human, and I like a lot of things. I like musical theater. I like R&B. I like pop. I like jazz lo-fi with no words.
Hell yeah.
I
love it.
Jazz to fall asleep.
Right?
Thank you, Spotify, for making great playlists. Also, pay your artists more, please.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Thank you.
let's go.
Your songwriters need to get paid.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Just don't cut that out.
No,
that's staying in.
Keep that.
And tag them.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna Spotify story and just at Spotify.
I feel like I just like feel ready, you know. I feel like I've been like just, I don't know. It feels like I'm like I've been training for a marathon and I'm ready to run it now. You know.
Yay!
Yeah.
God,
Well, you took all the steps.
To hear that.
You know, you do have to take the steps to get to where you are.
I remember myself. I'm 2-3 years older than you, and I would come up to Orange County and you would have your piano, and I was probably 22, 23, and so you were 20.
Yeah.
and you would sing to us while we would just all hang out, get fucked up, booze fest. Like we'd go to the bars and then come back and you'd be like, you guys, let's piano, and just like start singing songs. And literally there'd be like 10 of us and it would just be silent and everyone would just be so invested and just like it was a moment every time. So like I'm just so happy that it takes time. You can't just like, you can't, all of this is a lot of work and that's what is frustrating for artists nowadays. Like you put your heart and soul into making these songs and then you now have to like go out and do the marketing. You have to do all the social media. It's just like a...
and everything's so critical too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know, it's like, this isn't good enough.
Because there's so much shit. If it doesn't work, it gets lost.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and also
crazy.
I think it's like interesting that there are a lot of people who frankly are not like musically inclined and giving a lot of feedback and critique and saying, no, this is what we need.
Yes.
It's
in order to make money.
Right, it's not about
It's
healing
not
people. It's about draining people's bank accounts as much as you can.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, and I
Love
get
it.
Like we have to exist in this world and we have to make the most of it. But I think that's also, again, to like come back to the whole community aspect of it. That's like, that is why it's not so scary anymore, because I have these people I can lean on. It's not.
Yes.
That's why LA was really hard for me, because it felt like I was alone and doing it all by myself. I couldn't ask for what I needed.
Yeah.
And now I've been doing all this fucking work and like putting myself out there and telling my story and just fucking trying and really like committing to that in all the different ways, through theater and through like my music. And like when I'm asking for things, like I'd say 75% of the time people are like either able to help me for what I need or like giving me other options or other people I can talk to, like trying to help, because like for whatever reason they believe in me. And part of it I think is because I am starting to believe in myself a little bit, you know?
1,000% fucking percent.
So,
I don't think things started happening for us until we decided like we are worthy of this.
Yep. I feel like I am unapologetically myself in every room I go into. With Freedom Within, like with Max, he was staying with me over in April this year. And like we just had a heart-to-heart one night, and it was just like both of us just like speaking our truths to each other, and it was beautiful, and cried a lot. Just me. Of course.
That would be me.
Yes. I can't wait to cry with you.
Oh my god. Be careful. Ashley has been there. It's a painful cry.
I'm saying I want this.
Alright, let's do it. We'll speak our truths.
God.
Ashley's like, as a Pisces, she's like, I'm leaving
She
now.
just like wheels.
I cry a lot.
Yeah, she's like, I'll cry later.
I cry about myself.
It's okay, in the shower.
I handle the situation and then I'm like,
tears, what's water.
Yeah. It's like I'll be like, we're good, and then I'm like,
Like what?
Instead of singing in the shower, Ashley just cries in the shower.
It's a
some
moment.
people sing, some people cry.
It's therapeutic.
To each their own.
It's true.
So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We had that heart to heart, and the next day, we like produced Freedom Within in basically a day.
Wow.
Like we did 2 takes of the lead vocal, and we had it.
That's insane.
Yeah.
2 take. That's all you did on that. Especially that.
To be fair, I've been
note?
singing that song for like 8
I know,
years.
but that one note is nuts of bananas.
Oh my god, it is a wait for it moment for that note.
Yeah.
Gotta get there. It's
Well,
so good.
like-
spoiler alert, I guess.
I mean, spoiler, but not, because then they have to get through it. You know, they gotta listen to it.
Okay, wait. So, tell us about the album.
Well,
Oh yeah.
it's so a lot of what has been happening, as I've been saying, is just like coming back to my roots, like honoring all the things that make me who I am. And I think because of that, a lot of things have been coming back full circle. I think that's going to be the name of the album.
Oh hell yeah! I love that.
And I feel just really strongly about like using all the music and the body of work that I've made over the last like 5 years to finally release it. And I think like you've heard that EP that I had for, it's been ready for like over 2 years. I love it.
But it's so like good.
it's like a different kind of genre almost in a way, but it's still very honest and it tells my story. But then Freedom Within is like this like ballad, and it's mostly piano and just like super cinematic and like just big beefy bass and drums, but like it's organic in a way that the other ones maybe aren't. Like those other ones I wrote and got produced and honestly co-produced, because a lot of those arrangements were coming out of my brain. I just can't like be on the computer doing it because
It hurts.
I'm much too impatient for that.
Yeah, it hurts.
But eventually I'd like to learn. And I'm going to challenge myself to do that
Oh,
over
I
the summer.
love that.
Yes.
To just like at least get a little better at production. Help me get back on track. I'm
Do
losing
you
my
think
train of thought.
releasing
An album.
this old body of work, do you think that would help you move forward even more so? Because then you would
100%.
kind of feel released from that?
Well, it's more just like I just want to again like tell a story.
Yeah.
I think like for me the biggest impact musically in my life has been artists who I think when they can do a concept album, when they can do something that really tells a story,
Yes.
that really is just like
I always say
Ash
like you can listen
says
to
that
it
all
from
the time.
start to
Oh,
finish.
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's
Like-
my favorite.
Top of my head, SZA, Control,
Oh,
Neo, Saturn,
oh my god.
Tom Misch, Geography. I don't know that he would call it a concept album, but it feels that way to me. And then, I mean, I don't know if Lucius's albums are concept albums, but they feel really cohesive.
Yeah, they do.
And then of course I love Sarah Bareilles, but
Oh god.
I can't go down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole.
she's a baby angel.
She is just. I could do a whole. We should do a podcast episode just
Just
talking
on
about
her, on her.
honoring her. Actually, her birthday's December 7th. This is weird. I know her birthday. But we could do a podcast episode.
Oh my god,
her birthday.
perfect! Sarah, did you hear
I
that?
love you.
Have him
Manifesting
open
that I'm gonna
for
work with you one day.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes, I'm
We're manifesting that instantly.
Yeah. But I think that like, I basically I was in New York a couple weekends ago and I just had like a realization at like 2 a.m. I was like, oh, I can like kind of reorder these songs in a way that like just literally tells the story of my life, like
Yeah.
getting from LA and moving back home and like coming full circle. I've been saying full circle to anybody that will talk to me.
Yeah.
Just like and wants to know about what I'm doing and music and stuff.
Like, an intro and an outro.
Oh yeah, no, I'm actually speaking.
Sorry.
I already envisioning it.
Man, little band manager over here.
No, I actually like want the. Basically, it's like I have those 4 songs from the EP. I'm gonna slip one other song in the middle and then switch the order of the last 2, and then go into. I have a song called "Ugly in LA." You'll hear it at the show tomorrow night. But that's like gonna be.
Another
I love it so
I
much.
feel like
Max
I was
is
gonna say,
producing that as
so I'm gonna
well.
cry on that one.
It's
That
good.
might be a tearful one.
It's definitely more of a bop.
Okay.
Bops and bangers.
What?
Shout out.
Which we never introduced ourselves. Good job, ourselves.
Well, we can add
Yeah,
that in.
at the end.
We were just so excited to introduce you.
We truly were. We truly were.
So we're thinking, is this like a ended?
Well, I think I need to like actually like consult people who know about like marketing and
Yeah.
PR and stuff
Yes.
because I know like with her
Mhm.
also great concept albums. Technically it was 2 EPs, her first.
I remember that, yeah.
And then it became an album. So
Yes.
that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like if it makes more sense to like get people excited with EPs, there are 3 themes within the Full Circle album that I would be happy to release as EPs and then eventually release them all as an album.
I like that.
And basically, the things I write about are being insecure, having anxiety, and addiction. So those are like I realized those are the themes that I like tend to write and sing about, and I don't know, like it just started to make sense. Like how am I gonna like tell my story? It's like through my lived experience, and like that's what
you know.
That's what I
Yeah.
know, and that's what I want to share.
You have so much going on.
I know.
I'm so excited for what's.
Thank you.
We're so
What's
proud
to
of
come.
you. Like literally when Ash was like, he's ready. I'm like, okay, we're ready. Let's
Yes.
do this.
Thank you for being patient.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, yeah.
Honestly,
This is your journey. We're just here for it.
we're just here for your wild ride.
Yeah.
And we're excited. Aw. So, final words. Anything else you want to promote while we're here?
Yeah, I finished an original musical in April in San Francisco called Coming Soon.
Yes.
It is a musical about female orgasms. It's this woman's quest to achieve her first orgasm, and it was like a
I want to
really
see this.
I know.
it's awesome. It was a life-changing experience for me, and just like I learned I could act. I didn't know,
Oh.
and I want to keep pursuing that as well. Michael can do that.
Instagram.
So,
Instagram.
trying to like do all
Will
the
that
things
be
that.
your TikTok too?
Yes, it already is.
Oh, yay.
I just don't have any videos.
Thank God.
but,
That's good.
yeah.
That's a good start with the
Yeah.
It's
marketing.
also my Venmo.
Hey. Buy him a coffee, people. Buy him a coffee.
Yeah, or like pay for my therapy.
Yeah. No, because then we won't get the good music.
Well, yeah, I did this show, and it just like it has to have a life after this run, because it's just like I know from people who've reached out to me that it was like just truly life changing for them, like give them a lot of perspective and like help them process some of the things that they had went through, because there is some triggering stuff in the show. It's very, very, very funny, but it's also like a little triggering.
Kind of reminds me of like Fleabag vibes.
Oh,
Yeah.
A little dark, but a little,
Yeah,
you know,
totally. Just
really
not British,
funny.
but
Yeah, only.
But I think they're gonna do another run of it. Hopefully in LA, maybe one more in San Francisco, and then we'll hopefully bring it to Broadway,
Fuck yeah.
or at least to off Broadway, and then the dream is Broadway. But Rachel Lark, another incredible musician, I met her doing that show Brat Pack, and she wrote and starred in the show, and she's fucking incredible. And I want the show to like be seen and heard by as many people as possible,
Hell
because
yeah.
it will heal people. Again, that is like, I think that's like the thing with all the full circle shit. It's just like things are just like lining up in a way that I could never have even like dreamed of.
Or even forced.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just kind of happening because I'm
Ready
like
for it.
in the right spaces and with the right people, and
Yeah.
and it's not about me really. It's about us.
Yeah.